Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to week 2. Okay, so the first thing we can see here on the screen is the calendar for the course, alright? I already sent you this file a couple of times, but if you need another copy of the PDF, just send me a message or send me an email and I will share it with you, alright? Okay, so as we can see, the second week covers from March 16 until March 22nd. That means that we were supposed to start working today. I know that some of you we're finishing some exercises from Unit 1.1, so it's okay, you can start working tomorrow. But we have this week basically until Sunday to work on Unit 1.2. The name of the unit is How Learners Learn. I'm gonna switch to the platform now, okay? Very good. So you know that you access the website, the course site, and here where you have different options. Remember that we usually use this option here on top, that's the course finder. I go to CIS1, getting started, and here I have Unit 1.2, How Learners Learn. I click here and then it directs me to this other page where I have the introduction for the unit. So here it says, in this unit you will learn some popular theories about learning and learning languages and think about how this applies to your learners. So something very important in this unit is that we're going to be reflecting on the characteristics of our context. It's maybe some of you work with teenagers, maybe some of you work with preteens or with children, so we have to be really aware of the characteristics of our learners in order to succeed in planning classes and doing the rest of the activities in this course, all right? So here we have a list of learning outcomes, explore the main differences between language acquisition and language learning, identify practical ways to increase your learners' exposure to English. Anyways, you can read all of this here on the platform. Remember that all we need to do is scroll down. Here you have the access to the forums. Once more, you don't need to access the forums from the start or right away. We have instructions that let us know exactly when we are supposed to cover each of the forums, all right? We have a social forum where you can interact. I don't usually check the social forum because that's a space for you to collaborate, to comment on different things. And well, after that, we start with the content for this unit or from this unit. We have personal experiences and we have instructions, and here we have the first forum, okay? Here we have a separate link. We have to access it through this link. We are going to have to read instructions and then post, depending on the instructions. Well, that's the information you're going to be posting. Then the second section is language acquisition versus language learning. Again, we have information, we have instructions, and here we are instructed to do this exercise first and then to read this resource, all right? Then here we have more information. We have an additional link here. Remember that these resources, they are mandatory. We are supposed to read all of them. This is the content that the course is offering to us, so we have to read it really carefully. I always recommend taking notes. Maybe you like to keep your notes in a separate notebook. Maybe you like to have them in a Word document or in a PowerPoint. So everybody has a different style. So please feel free to take notes as you please. Then the next section is increasing learners' exposure to English. We have instructions again, we have important information, and here it says, in the exposure to English discussion in the forum, discuss your own ideas for increasing your learners' exposure to English. So here we have the instruction. As usual, we have to go back to the top and access the rest of the forums here, okay? So I'm gonna go back to where I was. Okay, so I follow the instructions. Then I have more information. This is basically the way all the units work. I always have an input, I have information, I have resources, then I have exercises, interactive exercises that I have to complete, and then I have more resources that I need to reflect on. More information, another exercise, and here I have a wiki, all right? Then more information, an exercise, more information, and here we have reached the bottom part of this unit page, okay? So at the bottom of the page here it says assignment. If you choose to complete the assignment for this unit, then go to your portfolio for the assignment documents and tasks. Now, the portfolio is a separate section we have. It's not really a unit, but it's a space we're going to use to reflect on the learning that and the knowledge that we're acquiring during the course. So I am gonna send you a separate video explaining how the portfolio works, because when we say portfolio, and I'm gonna go back to the calendar, there are two things that I'm going to include in that portfolio. I have assignments and I have records of work. As I promised last week, I am going to record and explain all of that information in a separate video, which I will be sending in a couple of days, okay? Why in a couple of days? Well, because we're in the second week, March 16th to March 22nd, but then for the third week, besides working on Unit 1.3 planning, I also have to cover assignment number 1 is a separate task that you're going to be uploading on March 29th, okay? So I'll explain all of this in a separate video. I promise to send it Wednesday or Thursday the latest, so you can start planning and deciding on what you want to do for that first assignment, okay? So you are always going to find these sections at the end of the unit. Why? Because we base assignments on the content of different units. So basically, you are going to use any of the units as inspiration to develop a lesson plan. Okay, I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but that's why you're going to see this at the end of each unit. It doesn't mean that at the end of each unit you have to cover the portfolio. No, that's not the intention. I'm just explaining why you're gonna see this at the end of each of the units and each of the modules that we have, okay? But I'll send more information about that in a couple of days. So basically, this is the content of Unit 1.2. I took the liberty to summarize the content of this unit in this little document I have here. So in total, we have 3 forum participations. You have to comment on 3 different forums. We have 5 separate resources to read. Remember, you can take notes and you can make notes. And here we have 4 exercises, interactive exercises that we have to solve, and we have 1 wiki contribution. This week the wiki is individual. Sometimes both forums and wikis are going to be done in teams or in pairs, but that's something you're going to start experiencing in a few weeks. All right. Okay, everybody, so that's it for this week. Remember, you can send me an email, you can send me a message if you have any questions or comments, all right? So let's keep in touch. Bye-bye.